I know you work with a number of companies, obviously leading up to IPOs. Now, obviously, a very common route, through a SPAC, which is in some way similar but different. You have to get shareholder support. People have to basically vote and say yes, that they do want this company to come public, and all of that's fascinating because these companies typically have been private for 5, 10 years, but I think somewhere in the 5 to 10 year range is pretty typical.
Hmm.
And now they're getting ready to go public. And I know that you work with them, kind of on the, I don't know, the airstrip, the 12 months before they take off. What are you doing and why is that period so important?
Sure. So a lot of companies come to us when they're either considering any sort of liquidity event, whether they're going to be acquired or they're going to go public via SPAC or the traditional route. And Bevel is one of the few firms that works with a company from seed all the way until liquidity.
Hmm.
In that 12 months period, it's critical that you're really building out the profile of the executive team. I think in the beginning stages of a private company, most founders or CEOs tend to focus on product and customers and not as much of building their external
Hmm.
profile. It's very important that investors know who's helming the ship and building out that executive bench so that it's not just this typical like founder profile, but it's a real company. And
Hmm.
then figuring out like those 12 months leading up, what announcements do we have? How can we figure out key growth metrics that we can communicate to investors? Which ones make sense? Which ones don't make sense? Uh, and you better make sure you have them right, or else, compliance and the SEC will come knocking on your door.
Hmm.
So we figure out, what does this roadmap look like? How can we, from this point moving forward, try to grow the valuation from, $1 billion to $2 billion to $3 billion? And a lot of that comes from the public market and the image and the perception. And I think
Hmm.
you've seen a lot of companies who haven't done it well. If you look at, the WeWork example, which is everybody knows, but it's fairly tragic. I don't think that they managed, I don't think Adam Newman really managed that well from a public relations point of view,
Hmm.
anyways.